Hey guys, it's Tuesday. Uh well, first of all, I wanted to say thank you because like I said, I have a different email so I don't get like the notifications, but when I got onto the YouTube thing to upload a silly video, it said that I had 100 subscribers and it was like congratulations. And I really do think that's cool. I thought it was cool. I'll never forget it when my first subscriber put the comment and said, "I'm your first subscriber," and I was like, it's just weird, people even want to watch you or listen to you or anything. So that's pretty cool. 100. Thank you. Um, that's pretty cool. I thought that was cool. You know what else was cool today? When I was at the shop for a little while and I showed um, it was a friend of a friend that used to come in. She was in a car accident. And I wondered where she was because I hadn't seen her lately. But she was like, "Do you take Apple Pay?" And I was like, "No, I don't know how to do that." I thought it was like Cash App or you had to do it on the phone. And I was showing her the new handheld register and she was like, "Oh, you do that and I'll show you." And I typed how much it was in and then pushed charge and then she just boom put her watch on it and went beep doop done. And I was like, what? I was like, that was cool. And it was one of those watches, I guess. I don't know. She just showed it in front of tap. She was like, if it taps, you can do it. And I was like, well, thank you for telling me because a couple of people have been asking about this Apple Pay and I've been like, no. So that's cool. I still haven't heard from Tony. I told him about the landlord and Ray and stuff, and then he responded back, the same old, he'll handle Steve. But I haven't heard from him. I told him that they took $50 out of my account for that register, and he said that was last week. He said, I'll have to give that back to you or look at it or something, and I'm just like, well, yeah, that's the rent account. Nothing's supposed to be taken out. I didn't know that. But I haven't seen them. The other day I thought they were down there because it must have been his friend Rocco that's been bringing in all the equipment and fixing the wires and doing stuff for him. So it must have been him, but I looked around and nothing looked touched or different. Someone did say he was on the roof last week trying to fix the fan so it's the hood in there of the deli. So maybe it was on the roof then because nothing's been touched or done in the deli either. I would just like to know where we're at, what we're waiting on, what we're doing and stuff, and this is like getting crazy. We came into this when, you guys were all there with the video and stuff. It was partners together. We're doing this together. We want to do this together. I'm not doing this without you. So he put me in a position where he was very lucky and saved me so I could try and keep the deli and we could try and get it going. And then it's just this, we need this business license and the township's getting mad and now the landlord's getting mad. Everybody's getting mad and then a lot has been done, but then also a lot's not been done. So, and then I don't know where we stand because I don't know what's happening. I literally, I don't know anything right now at this point. I'm going down there when I can and I'm selling, what's in the market. But that's a couple dollars here and there for drinks. Vienna got sick on Friday. She was vomiting like randomly. So it was like early hours of the morning on Friday. And then she was fine all day. And then she got sick. Yeah, she got sick the early hours of Friday morning, so it was like Saturday. And then she was sick. She was fine all day Saturday, and then she vomited right before bed Saturday night. And then she was fine all night, and then she was fine all day Sunday, and then Monday morning vomiting again. So she didn't go to school on Monday. And then last night, it was probably around 2 o'clock, I started feeling really nauseous. So I sleep on my back, so I started tossing and turning. And then by like 5 o'clock in the morning, I was vomiting in the trash can. And then I've been fine all day. It's no other symptoms. And then I'm just in pain because of these teeth. So that's why that's a little swollen. So I just do not feel good today. It's no other symptoms except for that. It's just random, like sporadic, and so I'm just waiting for it to come again because hers kept coming randomly. Are they all in there? Are you sure? There's 6? She's a good girl. On Sunday night, we went to the Carnival. Amber and I and her went last year. So Amber borrowed money from her. Well, her mom gave it to her to take Vienna. So that was so nice. I have to stop and thank Liz for that. Send a text message and thank her for giving Amber the money for that, because it was just nice to get out for that. And that's why I did that video. It's cotton candy, because all the time in the background, Vanna has these weird videos. It's like weird stuff, and then it'll be like, if you ever see this, don't touch it. And it's like black goo that's like growing or all this. So we accidentally dropped a piece of the cotton candy trying to give it to the baby for baby's first cotton candy, and she was dropping it, and because it rained, the ground was wet, and it just was just gone. I thought that was pretty cool, actually. It reminded me of the video, so that's why I did that. So it's cotton candy. You won't believe what Xfinity did. And I have witnesses. I looked at the account, and it's pending that they were going to take $62 out. And I was like, no. I told her 3 phone calls a day ago to take that card off the account, that there was going to be no auto pay, nothing like that. Because she said the one-time fee for the phone was $42. You all know I said it 1,000 times. I think I even still have the video up where I finally got everything done and was recommending Xfinity because of all this. It was the one-time fee. We were on speakerphone. I kept saying that because everyone was like, are you sure it's not a thing where they're saying you can pay $42 and then you're going to be locked into a phone bill where it's like $700 you got to pay off, this is not. And I was like, no. I'm asking them. I'm saying there's no fees, right? It's one time, this and that. $65 for the net, $15 for the phone. No gigabytes ever mentioned. This and that. So I called to say that I told the woman to take that card off. Now you're literally robbing somebody else's because it's not even my account. So I was like, I used mom's card for that, and now you're taking money out of that account when I told her to take that off. And then when I downloaded the Xfinity app, I seen it in payment, and I took that off, removed. So when we just seen that, I went onto the app, and I tried to hit remove, and it's telling me I can't remove. So now I'm on the phone with you for the 8th time in 3 months. And he's like, blah, 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 I gotta switch you to Xfinity Mobile. So now it's the second guy. And I'm talking to him, and he's like, all right, we'll reverse it and take it off. What card do you want to use? I'm like, no card. I'm not doing this. I'm ready to sue you at this point because of the whole credit, and they just completely took advantage of me in this situation. And I told each person what was going on because that's why I was trying to get the bills as low as possible. And this was immediately after Don passed away. This was the next month. So, I mean, that's the reason why the guy was like, okay, well, what phone are you using? Because if you put it together, there's the promotion, and it'll all be cheaper, and it'll be easier for you because you've never paid bills in your life. So it'll all be one bill, and it'll be low, this and that. Never, no gigabytes, no this. So then the guy's explaining it to me, and he's like, okay, well, the bill's $65 for the internet, and that's everything. And then the phone is $15 for 1 gigabyte for this, and this. And I'm like, see how you're explaining it? I said, I talked to several people saying the same thing about the bills 6 times, and not once was anyone explaining it like you now are. And you're doing that now because I'm locked in. And then we don't even get to the credit part. So then I'm just like, look, I just want the card off. That's done. And while I'm at it, I need the transfer pin because I need that to switch back to Metro now. So he's like, well, I can send that text to you if you want to accept the charges. I'm like, well, you're charging me for this phone call anyway, so you might as well do it. And then he says, well, it's after 5 days, so blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, because I'm not doing it within 5 days. I don't have the money to change to Metro. That's $50. So I'm like, I'll call back then when that's done. And he's like, well, you don't have to call back. You can go on the app and do this, this, and that. And he's like, but if you're going to do the transfer pin, we're going to have to see if we can unlock your phone. And then you'll have to make the payments. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, you're trying to say there's literally hidden fees and payments now for this phone? I told her, I asked her, him. They were on speakerphone with 3 other people, these so-called recorded phone calls. They all said one-time fee. I begged them. I said, this is not a scam, right? I'm buying the phone for $42. This is the promotion. This isn't that. They all say, yes, you're done, nothing. There was no locked in. I said, I can change back if I want to. Yes. I asked 1,000 times because everybody was saying, are you sure that's not going to be locked in and you're actually paying for a $700 phone? I was like, no, I'm asking them. And then my mom was there on the speakerphone and she was saying in the background, like, you hear her? She's saying no. And she's just like, okay. So he's like, I'm sorry, we'll have to see what we can do about that. And I'm like, I'm suing them. I flipped out. I wasn't cursing or being rude to him. And he was like, well, thank you for telling me all this. And I'm just like, I understand it's not your fault. You're just a worker. But they completely have taken advantage of me. Now they lied about that. I cannot believe this. This is all Xfinity. How could they do that? And then what was the whole thing with the credit on the phone for hours? Her going back and forth with her boss, with my mom on speakerphone, listening, figuring out the credit, figuring out that they gave a guy 2 boxes in the store 4 years ago. Oh, and that's how the first guy answers the phone. He's like, hello, oh, thank you for being such a loyal customer since 2019 or whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, yeah, I'm a really good loyal customer, and look at how I've been treated. And then that was the very first guy, so I didn't even know about the phone yet. I cannot believe them. I can't believe them. They are awful. I made everything clear, and I asked all of them several times. You know they're going to play games, and you're not going to be able to find these recorded phone calls and this and that, and it's just going to be an issue. How could they do this? When the whole point was to get my bills as low as possible because my husband died, I have a child, and we have nothing. I said I have 1 check coming in. It's $618 at the time. Well, it's back to that. Anyway, so I was like, it's $618. I can't, he said cable, blah, 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 package, $185. I said, that's still way too much. I can't, so cut the cable. And then he was saying, well, what about the phone? And talked me into that. And then it was the one, they're awful. Honey, how'd you do that?
With makeup.
With what?
With this.
Please hand it to me. You girls... It's makeup. I don't even know how to
I said you makeup, but you said yes.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
You know I did not.
Mommy,
How many times have you been told not to touch this? Where's the box these all go into? Honey, that doesn't look very good. It's all... You're going to have to go look in the mirror. Where's the rest of them?
I did. I tried to do good in my friend's house. And my authority.
That one looks good, but the other one looks runny. But you're too little to have that. You don't need that. You have such a beautiful face. No, you're not. You're listening to that girl, and she's a bully, honey.
Then why you look beautiful with makeup? I don't.
I look beautiful without makeup, too, honey. I just like to wear makeup because it makes me feel good. If it makes you feel good when you're older, that's what you can do. But you have a beautiful, beautiful face. You don't need all that purple eyeshadow. No, you're going to hurt yourself. See, one time a girl did that with the curl lashes and ripped all her eyelashes out. That was my sister's friend. Get out of the makeup, please. Stop it. No, it looks good the way it is. You're not listening again.
Can you get it off, please?
You have been told 1,000 times, sweetheart, not to touch the makeup.
Can you get it off?
I will when I'm done. I'm in the middle of the video. I asked you to give me a couple minutes while you're playing with your friends out there. not destroy my makeup again. That little girl is just making her feel so bad about herself. I tell them to build each other up, not break each other down. They're girls, they're women. But, you know, there's always one that, I guess, just like people I know that pick on you to make you feel bad about yourself to make themselves feel better. And I just, you know, I told her she's going to be dealing with that her whole life. Because sometimes there's always one, right? So Xfinity did that, if you can believe that. And I told all you guys that you guys all know that that was like one-time fee. So now they did that on top of everything else they did. The carnival was fun on Sunday, but it was a little sad for Vienna. And I knew it was going to be because it's like bittersweet because whenever there's fairs or carnivals, Don always gets the wristband. And that's one special thing he always did with the kids. No matter what, he would take them like every day that the carnival was in town for like an hour or two after work or during work even. And that's something special they all did. So she was sad there. And then she was really sad when she got home. She was looking at pictures. And then the next day she was sad. And I was going to let her stay home from school because she was talking about it all morning, and she didn't even do that when he passed. So I was going to let her have like a mental health day with me, and then she did start throwing up. So it made me sad too because I do miss him. I miss him all the time. Kindergarten is almost done. I can't believe it. I feel like it just literally started, and we're in May, so she's got this month and then 1 week of June.
No, I've been go for like 10 weeks. For 10 months.
I think it's about 5 weeks, including this week. I cannot believe she's going to be done kindergarten already. I just want her to be my little baby. She's getting big. Isn't that crazy? I can't even believe it's been a year since I gave birth to Charlie. She's so big, and then I seen Lexi finally, and she's so little and cute, and she's so beautiful. She looks like Amber, and she has black hair.
So if I will have,
Amber has black hair, yeah. Amber was saying something. She was surprised, and she was like, I'm just surprised about like donations. She's like, a lot of people I know that donate are the people that are like low income. And I said, well, that's the way it is. I was like, it's always been like that. I was like, my brother-in-law was a mailman, and he used to say all the time, that the richer and suburby areas, they would forget or not do it at all or do very little. When they used to do bonuses for like Christmas and holidays and stuff like that with them. And he said that the people that donated the most, dead serious, were always the people in the trailer park. Because, he's a talker, so he'd make friends with everybody, even the people with more money. And he was like, no, it was always the people in the trailer park and stuff like that had their last dollar and would give that to you on Christmas. And I was like, I know it, because I've been in both my whole life, up and down, up and down. So I've seen it, and that's why I always liked giving back, same way. And I think that's why Don always wanted to help people too. But that's what I was like, it's surprising, but that does happen, And I was like, I think it's because people who have always had money, they never really had to want for anything, so they don't really truly understand the struggle. So people that have been through some serious stuff throughout their lives, and then they're back on their feet or they have something to give, they will, because they know they've been there, they've been with somebody who's been there. They know the struggle, and that's just the way it is. I mean, it's America, in what world are the Manson girls out of jail? But, that boy Nick is in jail, and I think he has the death penalty. And Gypsy Rose gets to walk free. Manson was in jail in solitary, let alone everything, his entire life, just for telling these girls to do this. Gypsy Rose premeditated the thing for years, really thought this out, and found this boy who really was actually extremely ill, mental illness and high on the spectrum of autism, an actual sick boy, which really sucks because she was forced to, you know, pretend to be sick her whole life and this and that. So it's just awful that she manipulated a boy like that. And I feel bad for him because I'm like, when you watch the interrogation videos, because a lot of people are up and down with this girl, and a lot of people failed her, but I watched this stuff years ago, and when I get into something, I get into it. I get every last detail, and I'm the type of person, I don't know what it is. I can meet or see somebody and know what they're about within 5 minutes. And it just didn't add up. So I watched all the documentaries where it's actual footage of her family speaking, the background, her, the mother, the boy, the investigation tapes, the evidence, all the everything. And you know, these movies and these Hulu series, they're not showing you even half of it. You know, she ran away quite a few times and had to be taken back home. She was meeting men in hotels, at those Comic-Cons. She was sneaking out a couple times to different men's houses. She was in her room, walking freely. Obviously, she had money. She was given these computers, these phones, sexy lingerie, the wigs, everything. The cosplay that was sexy, not Cinderella. It was a lot. I can't remember it all really to get into depth, but she knew what she was doing. She knew. And I felt really bad because I watched this boy, and if he really truly has the mentality forever of a 15-year-old, I don't understand how he legally could have even been interrogated and stuff, because he wouldn't have known to ask for a lawyer. And he's sitting in there like it's a joke, like it's not even real. So, you know, well, honestly, she told me to kill her. And honestly, I have different personalities and this and that. He has no clue what he's saying. And I remember his mother was really upset about it. And I guess they just didn't have money to, you know, go behind him and get really good lawyers to fight for him and stuff. So this boy is in jail for a life sentence. And I think he might have got penalty because of this. And I'm just like, well, yeah, I guess I don't think he really knew exactly what he was doing. I don't think it was real. So if he was able to be, rehabilitated, maybe he could be out at some point. I don't know how bad it is, you know, for him. Maybe do it again, you don't know. But for her to be out, I don't understand that, because she knew she couldn't just get out the door and walk away, because how would she explain to everyone that she's obviously nothing's wrong with her? She can talk just like I am to you, you know? So all she could say was, my mom made me do it. And it's, well, you ran away 1,000 times, this and that. It's like, well, you walked out the door those times, so why didn't you say anything to the best friend neighbor for years? Why didn't you, you know? There's a lot that could have been done just to blow the lid wide open on it. But she would have gotten in trouble. And then she would have been hated. And there's definitely people that need to be liked. So with this, I think it came right down to what the lawyers say to you. You're facing the death penalty. There's no way to win this and get a jury on your side unless they can sympathize with you and you play this role. And this girl was taught to play that role, victim, since the day she started talking and walking. So of course she knew how to flip the script with that and get everyone on her side, playing the victim and really playing on the mom's illness. I mean, she went through hell. She did. And a lot of people failed her. The doctors, all the doctors, every single one they went to, which obviously was hundreds, and her father, her stepmother, family, but some of the family also knew what it was about, and that's why they stayed away. They were together in on this, down by the bayou, doing voodoo shit and weird shit and conning everybody, and then, it just, the cousin said it best, He knew what was going on, but he also wasn't like the narc type. And he said something I cannot remember in his interview, and I remember saying to Don, see? He said something like, well, my cousin's been through a lot, this and that, but I wouldn't turn my back to her in a dark room if she got out. He knows something's not right. And it was just that planning to mail the knife, that was smart. I'm into a lot of criminal stuff, followed a lot of that stuff throughout my years, and that was something I never really heard of, and I thought that was pretty smart of her, to be honest. But crazy. The nest egg, when I seen the evidence where it was like nest egg and it said something else, I was like, see, Don? I was like, everything it takes a long time to start saving that money, baby. I tried doing it with Don's wallet with emergency funds like 10 years ago. It takes a long time to do that $1, $10, $20 here and there without them knowing that you're saving all their money. So you wouldn't be able to afford a laptop and a phone and this and that in your nest egg, and your nest egg as well. So it was just like, no. And it was written on there, and just the glove, all the conversations and the text messages, where was she wasn't allowed to walk or go around, but where was her mother if she was forced to sleep in there and tied up? Where was her mom when she was masturbating and doing bondage stuff online in the middle of the night? No. Your friend's here, honey. So, I mean, I don't know. People, I guess I'm surprised because I seen something the other day and my mom seen it and she was like, she's got a lot of followers doing stuff now, and I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, she's already divorced. I'm like, she got married and divorced already? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure it's like, what, stop, like Double Jeopardy or something, where there's a fly there. What is it, like, where you already did your time? So she served her time for her crime. I think she's allowed to at least say now, well, I'm sorry I did this with him and took advantage of an ill person, and I see that now, and this and that. My mom told me that she's saying, well, I think that he should take responsibility for the crime he did. I hope she's not still talking like that. I'm not. I just feel so bad. I mean, like I said, a lot of people failed her and she went through a lot, but there's no reason for that to have happened, especially when she was in and out all the time. Like I said, there's a million ways the lid could have just been blown open, and then she could have said, my mom made me do it. You know, if she could have played victim, she knew what to say and she knew what to do. You know, and her dad could have just taken her. She was 23. She could have walked right out that door, and she knew how old she was. Well, that's a good conversation starter because apparently she has this huge following. And I've seen some stuff, you know, people, when that type of situation, people try to turn it into like Donald Trump type of stuff. Like, it's good to see a story of redemption and metamorphosis and change and this and that. And it's just like, is it though? Is it? No one would let Manson back out. And there was a reason. And one of the main reasons, actually, I just popped in my head, is because they thought there'd be followers waiting outside the gates of the prison. I remember they said that in an interview at one point, like a 70s interview. And now people don't put two and two together. Like back then, they're thinking it's a cult following waiting for him to get out of prison, when it's a cult following on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. It's just not a cult anymore, but it's a following. I wish her all the luck. I just think that the thing is that was her whole life. That was all she knew. So she desperately wanted a family. And that worries me. You know, everybody's going to watch her. They're going to have an eye on her if she has a kid, you know. But she also knows how to hide things and how to do things. Just like after they killed the mom, and then the footage of the store where they're shopping, they're stealing the food and all this stuff because she's back in a wheelchair. She's back in the wheelchair with a fake pretending the leg's broken. And I'm like, I thought you didn't want to be in this chair anymore. It was the whole point of just brutally stabbing your mother 17 times. Or I'm sorry, not you, but the severely ill autistic boy doing it for you. That poor boy, seeing him cry and stuff, confused, like, well, I did it for her, and I just thought it was very ironic that somebody that was forced to be sick their whole lives would actually manipulate and take advantage of someone that actually was sick, and then get famous for it. It's America, though. Everyone in their followings. It's just nobody really wants to say what's on their mind, because I guess with these things, it goes either way. People that are watching that disagree, they might never not watch me again. Or get more people watch, they agree. I don't know, but like the people, the executives and stuff, they had to put things in these shows like in between the lines. And it was just like, they can't really say, well, you know, she did this and did that. They had to put it in certain words so that they weren't looking like they were banging on her, but also indirectly saying, you know, oh, it was the one was talking about how, that's it, in the Hulu series, she was saying, you know, the writer or whatever was like, you know, when the world found out that she lost her virginity on the bathroom floor, which was not true. There was men way before him. When she had sex with him, but they think it's the virginity, on the bathroom floor of the movie theater when they met up secretly, the world was like, ew, ick. So they had to put it in a certain way on the TV show so that it was like romanticized. And they did that on both things, the Lifetime movie and that TV show. Like, the whole thing's just turned into a romanticizing thing, that she wants this fairy tale, and it's Disney, and it's pink and baby stuff all the time, and she wants true love and makeup, and that's not how this was playing out. This was down and dirty living with both of them. It was only the pink and the stuff on the outside for show. They were cursing and screaming and fighting each other on the inside. What was it? Yeah, so they made it look like in their minds this was romantic, and it was a Cinderella having sex with her prince that's finally come to rescue her in the bathroom on the... And it wasn't. It was just two teenagers meeting up that have been talking for a while, where she's just all wanting all this sex in her life all of a sudden. I don't, really wild, and just, I don't care. Let's get out and let me stand up out of the wheelchair. So in these shows, they're making it look like it's a child dressed up in a wheelchair, and it's not. She stands up, she acts total different personality, and it's like, come on, baby, let's go. It's not. They're romanticizing everything to make people feel bad, I guess. And like I said, I feel really bad because she did go through a lot ever since she was little. She couldn't control it when she was little, but she obviously knew that she could walk since she was little too. Could you imagine keeping a toddler in a wheelchair? How hard that had to have been. It would have been physical abuse, I'm sure. But at a certain point, I'm sure she started fighting back as well, because she got wild running away in the middle of the night to these guys' houses and party houses and having to be picked up. And then at one of the Comic-Cons or something, that's when she met, it was a different man that she met in the hotel. They had to find her mom found her in a hotel with him. But in the show, they make it look like she met the guy there and it was romantic and he swept her off her feet. And no, in real life, she was in a hotel with a man she met online when they went to Comic-Con, her and her mother. So it was wild stuff on both ends, I hope she changed, though. She had 8 years to grow up and therapy, but, there's certain things when you look in people's eyes that you can't change. I don't know. Alright, well, I am going to cook dinner now. I just wanted to get to you guys because I didn't hear from you. And I spent all my time talking about Gypsy Rose. It's just like, that's a whole wild different thing. It's just, I remember seeing the donation thing on Facebook, like when it first started, the picture of her with the stuffed animals and the smile with the glasses in the wheelchair, and it was like, donate to her because she's got MS and this and that. I remember that. I don't remember when it was like in the news and stuff. I don't remember that though. But usually I agree with the person that did something. So even Don was surprised when I was like, what? She's not, no. He was like, why are you saying that for? Because he watched the Lifetime movie. And I was like, no, watch this. And then we watched the HBO special and then interviews and this and that. And he was like, oh, you're right. And I was like, that's awful what she did to that boy. And it was just completely premeditated. I mean, anybody else for premeditated goes to jail. She was facing the death penalty, but the lawyers played it up. They went hard on this Moxie, that she was a victim. What's it, Proxy? Munchausen Proxy? Yeah. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's what the mom had, and she did. But it was also a conning scheme. That's how they had to steal from the mall. Anything and everything and everyone. But she gets famous for that. Alright. I just feel bad for the boy. Is anybody following the boy? What? He pokes you in your beautiful little eye. Is it okay? It's okay. You want to go rub it? It's on your lips. Makeup. Got your pretty little... You want me to take this out before it gets ruined? It's cool. It mixed all in with your real hair, so it looks real. She wanted a little clip of purple hair. I wanted to say thank you again to the people that donated to the GoFundMe. I sent personal messages, but that bought food for this week because I can't figure out what's going on with the food stamp card. What did they say? I don't know. They were saying, I wrote it down. I don't know where I put it though. Something to my memory. They said why they changed it from 400 to 3 something, and then they were trying to say it was extra that they shouldn't have given me, and then they started talking about how they will be giving me more next month because it's summer, and I was just like, well, that works, but I still don't understand what's going on with these transactions, and she couldn't bring it up. I wrote something down though. I did apply for a couple things. I just looked into the VFW. Yeah, and something else that someone commented. I did that over the weekend. Don't spray anyone unless they want to be wet. I gotta go out there and I gotta take everything off the porch because the guy wants to power wash. When the landlord showed up today, I didn't even know. I forget. That's why I gotta write that down, because the rent's due every 7th of the month, and I had this month's rent, but he called and he said, I'm down the street, so did you want me to stop by? So I had to hurry up and write a check, and I gave it to him. He's doing stuff to the house. He's fixing the steps, and the guy's going to paint the railing, and then he's power washing the house. He fixed the roof, and that just makes me wonder, why would he be doing that all of a sudden? Because remember how he was talking about he wanted to sell the house? Like, I feel like he thinks that I'm not going to be able to keep paying rent here, which may be true. And he's getting ready for me to fall and fail and put the house up for sale. It's like, why would he be doing this after 2 years? Especially after he just wanted to just walk away with no money, not putting any money into this. Why all of a sudden would he be doing this? It just doesn't add up to me. Nobody has come for the freezers and stuff at the shop. I just don't want to sell. They're not highly expensive. They're fridges. Like, they're worth $1,000. It's down to like 4 something. I think that that's fair. So it's just, and people try to say, well, will you take 100 something, 200? And it's like, no. If I was setting up my own business right now, again, buying this, I would be paying 5 and over for a freezer from anybody else. So it's not fair. So I'm just gonna wait on that. So I don't know, I just hope I don't get sick again. I hope everyone is having a good week so far. I'm gonna have to move everything out there and then jump in the shower. So thank you again for the 100 subscribers. Oh, this is a long video. Sorry. I love you guys. Keep on subscribing, and continue to share and donate, and like. I'm like drawing a blank right now because I don't feel good. I'm just a little distracted because she's outside and this and this and that. I did want to get a message in for everybody to thank everybody and stuff. I just hope we can get the shop up and running. Bart was like, the landlord, he was like, well, when do you guys think you're going to be up and running? Like June? And I was like, well, he keeps saying end of month. So I'm hoping by the end of this month, but everything's exactly the same for the past week. The wires are in the same spots, and the fridges, and some things, I don't know. Alright guys, I love you. I will see you next time. Be safe. Bye. Bye. I'm sorry, she's totally on my mind now. Now I can't get it off my mind because it's like running through evidence and stuff like that. All right, bye.